Imagine your fun night out with friends ends up with you being murdered and abducted for no reason. This is the case of Eve Carson. Eve was born in November of 1985 in Georgia. She was known for being a selfless person, she was known for being very helpful, and she was also really smart. People really applauded her for her academics, her will to help others, and just overall being a good person. Now, once Eve graduated high school, she found herself at a college in North Carolina. At this college, she also made a lot of friends. She was meeting a lot of people, networking, and one night in 2008, she decided to go out on the town. Now, somewhere in this night, she ended up walking back to her car alone. If I didn't already, this is happening in March of 2008. So Eve is walking to her car alone when two men absolutely ambush her, pushing her into her own car and locking all three of themselves into the car. These two men were Demario Edwards and Lawrence Jr. I think at the time Demario was 21 and Lawrence was 19, respectfully. Now Eve is rightfully so scared because she was just trying to get back into her car to go back to campus, and these two strangers are now in her car. So she's basically pleading with them, asking them, that she would give them whatever they wanted. She would do anything they wanted if they just did not hurt her. So the men took her cards and they went to an ATM. The first transaction was for $700, which went through. And then they returned to another ATM to get more money, but that didn't go through. After this, the men had drove her and her car to the woods while they decided what they were going to do with her. After, doing all that, this entire time, she's just pleading with them, just don't hurt me, I'll give you anything you want. So which one of the men produced a gun, and Eve, rightfully so, got scared as hell. She asked them that if they were going to take her life, if they could do one thing with her. And that was if they could pray with her. Hearing that really did break my heart, because the fact that she knew that she might not was going to make it, and the first thing that she asked them to do was pray with her, and they declined and still did what they did, is fucking crazy. Now, like I said, they declined and then they pulled the trigger. But miraculously, when they pulled the trigger, Eve was still alive. The men knew this, to which then he put the barrel to her head and he pulled the trigger again. After this, both of them fled the scene. But not long after, one of the residents in the area that they was at called the police reporting gunshots. Now, every day that I do these cases, I just pray that killers just stay as dumb as they are, because, people that commit crimes are really dumb as fuck. They went to the ATM not knowing, or if they did know, they didn't care that there was CCTV. But in turn, the police put their pictures out to the media, and the media came together to find them. Lawrence got 1 life sentence and Demario got 2 life sentences. Now, what really stuck out to me about this case is the fact that this girl was literally just getting in her car to go home, and you guys took it upon yourself to abduct her and take her life because you were bums and you couldn't, or you wouldn't, get your own money. And then what ceases to amaze me every time about every single case that I cover is the fact that some of these men and women genuinely think that they can just get away with this shit. Like, most of them just genuinely think that they got it like that, to the point where they can just get away with it. But nevertheless, the community was saddened, Eve's family was saddened, her friends, because Eve hadn't been in North Carolina for long, but that was the type of impact she had on people. They were crushed because, she was this great person, that just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But as I always say after a case like this, make sure if you are by yourself at night, make sure you have some type of taser, pepper spray, some type of protection to protect yourself from these people, because they are crazy. Long live Eve.